Hi guys, how's it going? So in this one we've got a Trumpeter, and it's a kit of a Fairey Barracuda in 1/48 scale. The tooling is last year of 2025, and the reason I got it is because I saw the aircraft on the box. I was like, yeah, I like the look of that, I'd like to build it. So here we are. Now, just looking at this, it does look like we've got a nice size model. It's a length of 258.6 millimeters, a wingspan of 312.6 millimeters, and 190 parts plus. So you're getting quite a good amount of kit for your money. What I do like about Trumpeter is on the side of the box, they do show you exactly what to expect from the kit. We've got 3 schemes, A, B, and C. Just at a quick glance without reading, you would think, just like a quick look, you'd think A and B are the same, so C is the one that stands out for me. We've got a photo etching, our decals, and some bombs. We move along, and it just says, this is not a toy, 14 and up. On the other side, and this is what I like about Trumpeter the most, and I didn't expect this. Like I said, I just looked at the front and got the kit. I didn't know we had an option for an open and folded wing aircraft. So that was a nice surprise. We've got an image or diorama of our cockpit with the photo etching. Again, we move along. We have the history of the aircraft. I know that some of you guys like to read that, so hit that pause button and you can read in your own time. You haven't got much to read. It's not like a full page or anything. Now we're going to open it up and have a look. Now, I do like Trumpeter's boxes because they are very strong and sturdy. And what we have is a little leaflet. Again, it's a little diorama of our aircraft. Nice little picture there of the folded. Optional folded wing. And then we have, what's this? Accurate landing gear and full ordnance included. Over this side, intake with photo etch screens. Detailed 3-seater cockpit with photo etch details. Little image. Over here, what we've got, separately molded radar antennas, detailed tail wing. Then up here, again, it shows you what it consists of. 100% new tooling and kit model number. Even though I do put this on the screen, here you are anyway. And then we turn it over, and then we have a little advertisement of what they've got. Now, if you're into ships, we've got this monstrosity, which is terrifying to me. I mean, look at all that photo etching. If you love that sort of thing, it's definitely for you. Down here, some armor. What's this one? So this is 1/72nd scale. Over here is 3/50th scale. See, because I build planes, I'm not used to saying that. So yeah, not bad. Nice little bit of advertisement there. Our sprues, 1, 2, 3. Look at how well they're packaged. That's what I love about them. Where is it? I've completely lost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these will be the clears, because obviously I've had a Trumpeter kit before, and they always put them in this, and I really appreciate that. They added extra care to protect those clear parts. A little bit more there, and some photo etching. So let's go over to the sprues. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to clear parts. Absolutely lovely, lovely clears. I mean, you could tell by the way they packaged them that you were going to get better than average canopies. Because look at that. Look at how good that looks. They look like diamonds. I love when the light reflects off them. And I cannot see any major scratch marks, smudge marks, or grease marks from the factory. Number 2. Run that through. Look, I'm using the light to see if anything like comes out, but nope, nothing. Number 3. Good again. Micro set. We'll run that through, and hopefully we don't find anything. But look, this just gives you a taste of how good your cockpit is going to look through this. Micro set. That's fantastic, ain't it? Oh, this is good. Well done, Trumpeter. Well done. I like this. The back air, no distortion, especially when you get the curved. And this bit seems to be where you'd get the thickness and the curvature. You'd get that distortion maybe, but nope. Not with these. That is excellent. Number 2. Again, good. Let's try from the side here. Spotless, absolutely spotless. And with this little area to work with, let's see how good they are. Number 3. Look at the set. A little right in there, decals. Just there, you see that through there? Try something, let me see. USA, let's try that. Gonna bring it up. You can make out what that is. That's fantastic. Cool, I like these. And we've got more sprue H, or clear H, whatever you want to call it. We've got our options here. Again, how good are these? They're nice. Using the light again to see. Nope. Over here on 15 and 16, 17. I can't see anything, honestly. I cannot see anything. And these guys. Over here to the big one. Here's my finger, look. Look at that. My tattoo might help, look. That's excellent. There, guys, get a hand tattoo and see how good your clear sprues are. Oh, that's so good. I'm trying not to accidentally hit my finger on them and put a fingerprint of my own on there. The set on this one. Yeah, these are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's been a long time since we've had these sort of clears on this channel, and finally we have some clear parts that are, I'd say 9 out of 10. Look. Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely awesome. On the front here we have a little tool recommendation, so I wonder what they suggest. Paint and instant cements are 100%. I live by Tamiya's hot green glue. I couldn't live without that. It's such a great little, thing to have. Sprue cutters, yeah. Long nose pliers, modelling knife, small files and tweezers. Yeah, files for those small fiddly bits. Pin vise and scissors, soft cloth and sandpaper will also assist in construction. Then down here we just get told what we don't get in the kit, and basically that's your glue and paints. If you're an Airfix starter set, or even I've been hearing the modern helikits, they've been chucking paints in, I think. So that's a good thing. But whether you use them, that's up to you. Over here, again, we're going to be told 14 and up. Down a bit, when needed, remove photo etch parts, carefully using a modelling knife or photo etch sprue cutter. Be careful not to damage or lose parts. Essentially, watch out for the carpet monster. Take extra care in handling the photo etch parts in order to avoid injury. I mean, if you manage to injure yourself with nippers, would I use a knife? No. You'd use nippers, wouldn't you? And I think if you somehow cut yourself, I would love to know how. applying instant cement separately to photo etch parts where instructed. Down a bit we have a decal application, bit of assistance if you're not sure how to lay the decals down properly. The only thing I would say, if you don't know how to do decals like that well, then would you start with this kit? I don't think you would, but I mean, each to their own. Over here we have the symbols we're going to need to remember as we go through the construction of the kit. We've got a universal one, which is the question mark for options, weight, make whole, cut and remove, sanding, and it goes on like that. And then we're going to open it up. And we're going to look at the sprue layout we just see. Clear parts, photo etching, decals, and die cast mask. Move over to the construction. And I do like the fact that they tell us exactly what colours need to go where, so you don't have to do too much research. We've got wood brown, medium grey green, middle stone, and what else? Any more colours I can see? Flat black. It does remind me of a bit of a vintage kit, but not in a disrespectful way, because you can still make out in order. I guess these arrows are to tell you which step are next. So we're starting off with the cockpit seat. We've got our photo etching to start off straight away with a bend symbol. And we're just going along, doing the seat belts. We've got the landing gear stick, more photo etching, and then step 2, we've got the walls going in and searching all these little bits. I'm not sure on the name, so I'm not going to try and say them. Flat black, middle grey green, we're going to see that colour a lot. Plenty of decals going on. The big instrument panel for the decals. What's it say? Install it first. So I guess this will go in before this back end goes. So make sure you don't do it your own way. I mean, some do, but I have done that on some of the kits and I have been punished. In fact, I'm doing a video right now. I'm working on a build and I ignored the instructions and I went my own way, and the kit's going well, but I am paying for it. You'll find out when the video's done and ready. You're going to move over to step 3 and 4. We're now putting the other seats in. Again, more photo etching, lots of little seat belts and fiddly bits. And then over here to step 5, we're now putting in more detail. Medium grey green comes back. Decals, there is plenty to do here, lots and lots. The seat goes in, and then we bring these. I like that, that's quite different. So that front end will join it with the back end. This does look like it's going to have quite a nice bit of detail just by looking at that. Moving over to step 6, now doing the fuselage, put them together. Obviously make sure you don't forget to put those clear parts in. We're just prepping this bit. Where's that going to go? Right in there. Okay, nice little bit of detail. And now step 8. Now this is actually looking quite nice. This is where your die cut mask goes in, or comes in use. Medium grey green for the interior. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a heavily used colour. No cement, so we don't cement. So we get a moving propeller. Spin a propeller on that. That's quite nice. And then over to step 9. Turn it over, make sure you do all that. Little antenna going up. The rudder. There's plenty going on. This is definitely a long old build, but in a good way. It does look good. Oh my god, look at this. For the options. So if you want a simple lathe, choose J1. If you want a bit of a fight, you've got J3, J2, H17, H16, H15, H9 and H8. There's your options. The exhaust. I might actually do a little bit. I've got a Tamiya weathering kit. I might actually do a bit of some smoke marks across here, I think, for mine. Moving over to, let me grab it. Step 11. We're getting the rear wings back in. We've got these little bits here. I'm not sure what they are. I guess, oh yes, yeah, so they go in there and attach. And they're going to attach to the wings. This is for the folded. This is definitely for the folded. So this is where the option comes in if you want them to fold or open. Just get that in so you guys can see. See the arrows telling us where to go. And then we go back up, okay. Over to step 12. We're prepping up the main part of the wings. And here's the option, folded. An option again, yes, these are the folded options. Yeah, definitely. Oh, here we got, this is the open. So if you want to open, you do this one. If you want, yeah, so hang on, folded is up here and open is down here, I'm presuming. Over here we've got step 17, 17, 13. And then we'll put the wings. Okay, so we've got the flaps together on this side. Now we're doing the main part of the wings for the landing gear and such. More options. And that should be your, and oh, there's the aerial antenna going in. Step 14. Now the wings are going on. This is the big decision make. Folded. This is where you have, this is crunch time. Open or folded. I may be open just for simplicity, but I'm sure some of you more advanced model builders out there might go for the folded. But I like the fact they have this option straight from the go. I love it. 15. We're now getting ready for the landing gears to go in. The spinning propeller, and so forth. Yeah, I like this a lot. Moving over to 16, in goes those wheels and that. And then we have the rear wheel going in. Over to, now we're up to 17. We have these. Look at that. So even though it doesn't look like a very thick instruction book, it does give you quite a bit to do. Oh, we got the back. And this is what you should have when you're finished, depending on which one you choose. Like I said, I'm going for that one. Possibly. Maybe though, you know, sometimes when you get to that build, you go, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself and go to folded. But yeah, and that's that. And then we move over. And this is the color guide for, this one's for A. Let me just run that through. And there's the colors we're going to need. And run that down. There, try not to get the light in there. And this is for who? Hobby color. And that's that one. On this side is the other two, B and C. There we go, that's the one you're going to need for that one. And C, yeah. That's the one that stood out to me because it looks the most different. Now I know what you're thinking core, they're grimy. Admittedly, when I looked at two, they have a severe case of this going along, the grime, right along. The worst ones though, were visually, Decals 1. Look at that. And I think really they look really bad because of the colour, the dark blue that's making it stand out 10 times worse. Same with 3. It goes throughout like that. Even though actually number 9, Decals 9, they don't have the same problem. So it might be just the roundels. They're 100% usable because I've had this, I've seen it before in modern kits. Every kit I unbox, or most kits I unbox, you guys have already seen that this appears to always be present in most of them, except maybe Airfix and the higher up kits. But like the mid-range kits, like Trumpeter, I would say Trumpeter's mid-range, you get this. Not all the time, but this is a case, this is something that could happen. But they're absolutely fine. I'm not bothered by it really. Decals 14, 4A, we have a little bit over here doing that. But as for the detail of the decals themselves, let's ignore this superficial, you know, stuff on the top. They are quite nice when it comes to, let me just get that in. I mean, let's look at 23. You can make out the instrument dials. They're quite nice. I like that. I don't know if I'm going to put them on. I might just do a black paint and then some silvering. Yeah, just some like silver dry brushing on the instrument panel. Here's this guy. And then we have a Royal Mail decals for each version out of the 3. And that's about it with these. Let me just hold that in shot so you guys can have a proper look in your own time. Give that about there. Hit that pause button. And then we're going to move along our photo etching, and this does look quite nice. When I looked at the instruction booklet, I thought we were going to have a lot of photo etching, but it doesn't appear that we're going to. It's just these. I was expecting a lot more, but these absolutely, you know, not too scary at all actually. Let me just get it in. Not too much to talk about. but they are pretty nice. I've left them in the packaging really because you can already make out what they are, so I'm going to leave them in there and keep them safe. And then the die set cut, the die or the masking. Here we go. I'm not going to know how these behave until it's time to use them, honestly. I could like actually give a little lift on one. Yeah, so they're going to come up lovely. Try again. There we go. Here we go, 43. Comes up nice and easily. See that? Let me just push that back down because I need them. So yeah, that is the kit in total. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.